God's peace and joy are mine, and God's peace and joy are yours. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 105 of A Course in Miracles, and we're gonna dive straight in. We don't got no time to waste. So, you got the book, you already know where to go. If you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. And let's go ahead and begin. Lesson 105. God's peace and joy are mine. God's peace and joy are yours. Today, we will accept them knowing they belong to us, and we will try to understand these gifts increase as we receive them. They are not like to the gifts the world can give, in which the giver loses as he gives the gift. The taker is the richer by his loss. Such are not gifts but bargains, made with guilt. The truly given gift entails no loss. It is impossible that one can gain because of another's loss. This implies a limit and an insufficiency. So what's happening is, in this world, me and you believe that giving something to someone else is they just gained something and we kind of lost out, or we're going to give this but we need something in return. That's kind of how giving works in this world. But whenever, and think back to any time you have given a gift and you seen the joy on the recipient's face and you were happy to give that gift, and you guys both left happy, that is an example of what giving love looks like. It may appear like you gave a gift, but in reality, the gift that you gave in the physical form is irrelevant, because they felt love coming from that, and you felt joy as a result of seeing the joy that you produced in that individual. Therefore, you didn't give nothing away. Remember, who you really are is spirit, and what you give, you are actually receiving yourself. It's only in this world that we believe, I am giving you this highlighter, therefore you have it now and I am lacking. But when we understand that everything is shared, all minds are shared, and when we understand that this highlighter is just presenting to you in the physical world an idea, this is just translating an idea of highlighting important pieces of notes and making information stand out, and you understand that this is the idea, that mic is an idea. Remember, everything we see is an idea. This chain is an idea. If I were to give it away, then it may appear like I'm losing out on something or I want something in return. But in reality, whenever you are a happy giver and you give love and you give ideas away, then they are also strengthened within you as well. So, for example, if I had an idea of a business, right? I haven't told nobody about this business. It's a brand new idea. I just created it. I've been formulating thoughts around it, and it's an idea, right? Now, if I share that idea with you, I still have the idea in its fullness, and you have the idea now in its fullness. And I didn't lose the idea because I shared the idea with you and the thoughts with you. And actually, the idea in itself has been increased as a result of me sharing it with you, because now your attention to the idea and my attention to the idea is causing it to become more due to more perspectives focused upon it. That's how giving works. Now, we're going to talk more about this, but let's go ahead and dive straight back in. Just understand that we look at giving completely opposite in this world. We think that we're losing out on something and we need something in return. And that is just implying limit and insufficiency. No gift is given thus. Such gifts are but a bid for more valuable return, a loan with interest to be paid in full, a temporary lending meant to be a pledge of debt to be repaid with more than was received by him who took the gift. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take. So another good example to express what's going on here that the course is presenting is, have you ever given something away to somebody and then you kind of were like, I shouldn't have given that. Like, you want it back. That is implying limit and insufficiency, and you are not understanding that you are one with all aspects of creation, and whenever you give, you are really giving to yourself. You got to be a joyful giver. Now, same thing with you. Somebody may have given you a gift before, and although they didn't say anything, they might think that you owe them something now, or you've done the same thing. You may give someone something, and now you think that they owe you something. And I want you to go back to this lesson if it's not making sense completely as of yet, and read these two first paragraphs again, and kind of dwell on them a little bit and see that that's what's going on. Is me and you have been giving only to receive in this world. We're not understanding that what we give, we are also giving to ourselves. And a more applicable way to look at this is whenever you think thoughts about somebody, just know you're giving. You are projecting a thought towards them or extending a thought towards them. Now, whenever you look at somebody and you look at them for who they really are, which is love and light, you appreciate and admire maybe the way that they put their outfit together. You appreciate and admire how they are treating this other person. You are seeing them for this intelligent individual. You are giving that energy, and remember, you can't give what you do not have, meaning although you're giving that to them, you are strengthening that in yourself and strengthening the idea of that in yourself. Now, vice versa, if you were looking at that individual and you think that they could have done something better, implying that they're not good enough right now as they are, they're not doing enough, or they need to be acting different in order to please you, and they are just insufficient as a human being and who you think they should be, remember, you can't give what you don't have. So the fact that you're able to think those type of thoughts and project them outward just prove that you are strengthening those in yourself. And although it may appear like you think that about somebody outside of you, you really think those thoughts about yourself. And that's what that person is there showing you. That's your work. That's letting you know that, hey, the fact that I'm capable of even forming these thoughts that are illusions shows me that I really think these things deep down about myself, and I'm projecting them out there so that way I can feel sufficient and good enough, and that the problem's out there, but I'm just projecting my own fears and beliefs, and I'm not aware that I'm doing that until now. That's what's happening when anyone sees you as sufficient, although you know that you are the light of the world and you're perfectly whole within. You have internal peace and you are this master that nobody knows because they can't see that, because they only see with the body's eyes. They have yet to gain true vision. Then you look at them and they're projecting all their insecurities on you, and you're like, I'm not insecure. I know who I am, and I am very much so sufficient. I am the light of the world. I am as God created me. I am love and light and peace. You know that. But that person over there who's projecting their insecurities on you is thinking you're insecure or thinking you're not enough, when really you are just reflecting back to them, whether you're aware of it or not, for reflecting back to them their own thoughts about themselves. And that's powerful to know, because it makes you less you care less about what other people think about you, because that's what's happening here. What other people think about you is letting them know what they need to work on, and they really think you're the problem, when really, first of all, there is no problem, but second of all, you're just reflecting back to them what they gave you first. And if they didn't have that to give, they could only extend what they are really, which is love and light. So this is how giving works. Whatever you give, you are strengthening in yourself. So if you're giving a gift and you are wishing that you didn't give it afterwards, or you're hoping for them and you're expecting them to give you something in return, you are at the core of that situation strengthening lack in you. You're strengthening the idea of lack in you, because you feel like you lack something now. So although you gave a physical thing away, that physical item doesn't mean anything. It's nothing. It is dust. It is temporary, and what is not eternal does not really exist. It's illusion, letting you know that you are strengthening the idea of lack, because now you're wanting something in return that you believe it's going to come from this person, or you wish you didn't give that gift to begin with. You are strengthening the idea of lack. And whenever you give something away happily, and you are happy that it's bringing that other person joy and love and light, and you feel that joy emanating from them, and you feel happy as a result, you are strengthening the idea of abundance and love and light and that is why you feel so good, because you're a joyful giver. Now, I'm not saying you got to go out there and give away all your belongings. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you are giving all the time by all the thoughts you think. So whether it appears like you're giving a physical gift away, or it appears like you're not giving anything away because you're just thinking a thought about someone, you are giving and therefore strengthening what in yourself what you just gave, whether you gave it away in its physical form or not. So keep that in mind. A major learning goal this course has said is to reverse your view of giving so you can receive. For giving has become a source of fear, and so you would avoid the only means by which you can receive. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away, but they but increase thereby. One more time, and this is worthy of being highlighted. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They increase whenever they are given away. So whenever you give something away with love, remember, God is love. That's a gift from God, and they strengthen. Therefore, you are left with the impression of love because something within you just produced an emotion in that individual. That's why I've had people check this out. I've had people give things to me, and I know everything we're discussing right now. They don't know I know it, but I am aware of who I am, and they give me a gift. All right, it could be a present, it could be something for Christmas, or it could be whatever it is. They give me a gift, and they think that they're the ego. They think they're the body. They don't know who they are. They're just simply asleep. And of course, I don't force this information on nobody, so I'm not going to go tell everyone in the whole world who they really are because they may not be ready to hear that. But I just lead by the clarity of my example, and I will allow it to be known. If they're ready, they'll ask me something. But the whole moral of the story is me knowing who I am, and this individual who doesn't know none of the stuff we're discussing right now has given me a gift, and I got genuinely happy, and I'm lighting up, and I'm holding the gift in joy, and they're looking at my reaction and they're feeling the joy. They're happy that I'm happy, and deep down they don't know what's going on, but what's really going on in that transaction or in that exchange, if you will, is they who think that they're the body deep down are made aware that they are not the body, because the body can't produce joy. The body is nothing. It is dust. But because they just made me happy, something within them is saying, "Hold up, I I just produced joy. That must mean that something within me just produced joy. Something in me is capable of producing joy in another human being." They think they're a human and they think I'm a human. And deep down, that love that they feel when giving that gift away is something within me is capable of producing joy in someone else. That's power right there, because that's who you really are. Now, that joy they just felt, and they could have kept that and experienced that forevermore. That is always here. They may have fallen asleep to the fact and are back in their illusions, but the whole moral of that story is they didn't. They in that moment they just strengthened the idea of abundance and love and joy and happiness, because although it appeared like they gave something away to me, remember, this thing that they gave to me in the physical form is dust. It doesn't mean nothing, but the intention behind this thing that they gave me is what we're discussing here. And they were happy as a result of giving, and they strengthened that in themselves just by a little bit. They strengthen that idea, and the more they do that and the more frequently they give away, they will continue to strengthen the idea of that abundance. That's why giving is taught in every spiritual text. That's why giving is very powerful, because whenever you learn to release attachment to things and give, you know that you're not giving anything physical away. Even though it may be physical, you see the larger picture, and you see that although this physical thing may be what I'm giving away, it appears like the intention behind this gift that I'm giving is really what's going on here. And because I just gave this away, I am strengthening the idea of abundance in me. And now by giving, I am open to receiving, because remember right here, and it stated, let's see, where is it? The only way you can receive is by giving. So everything that you want is waiting for you. And the more you learn to give, and again, I'm not saying go give away all your belongings, but what I'm saying is give thanks, give compliments, give love, even if it's not said physically with your mouth, give it and project that energy out there and feel the joy that you get from doing so, and it will be given back to you because what you give, you strengthen in yourself, therefore receive. And before we continue, I just want to mention the opposite real quick so we understand when this happens as well. I've had individuals give me a gift, a physical gift, and again, I know what we are discussing here and they don't know what we're discussing here, and they're giving it away and I could see instantly that the ego has grasp of them because they feel like they're lacking that thing now. They didn't really feel happy as a result of giving it, and they believe that I owe them something now because they gave me that gift. And they, in that moment, strengthen the idea of lack in them. And they are not joyous givers. And they are going to, that is why the course starts off with we believe that giving is fearful. Most people who identify with the ego look at giving as fearful because it it implies limit and insufficiency. They think that they're losing out on something or they need something in return. But when you're a joyous giver and when you know the magnitude of what we're discussing here, you will want to give. You will want to give, and you will be happy while doing so because you're strengthening that abundance in yourself. Now let's go ahead and continue. Just know that as God's gifts are given away, which is anything you give away with love and happiness and light, it will be strengthened and increased thereby. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. Accept the gifts. Do it. True giving is creation. Now, this paragraph right here that we're about to read, I want you to pay very close attention to, and we're going to talk about it, but it's a very powerful paragraph, and it has tremendous meaning behind it. So we're going to begin again. It's paragraph 4. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and His peace as yours. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. It adds to all that is. It adds to all that is complete already. It adds to all that is complete already, not in simple terms of adding more, for that implies that it was less before. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it forever for itself. That's powerful. I'm not gonna try too much to explain it because I, at this moment in time, lack the words to kind of explain the power behind what was just said. But I hope you could feel the power behind that. That everything is always expanding. Love is always expanding, and whatever you give to someone else is adding unto all that is. Not in the sense that it was not enough before, but you are expanding. You are literally, you are an what's the word? This is one of the previous lessons that we did. You are essential. You are essential to the expansion of all that is. Every single thought you think is expanding all that is. Every single thing you give expands all that is. This conversation that we're having right here has never been before in all of the universe, and it is expanding all that is as a result of the thoughts that me and you are masterminding about right now. Me and you having this conversation has caused me and you to have thoughts that we wouldn't have had if we were not having this conversation. Therefore, if we were not having this conversation, those thoughts would not have been created. So me and you just expanded all that is by being here together today. That's powerful. Me and you are efficient. Me and you are enough. And me and you are more than enough. Me and you are essential to the expansion of this entire universe. Don't ever think that you're not good enough. Don't ever think that you are not enough. Don't ever think that because there's billions of people on this planet that we call Earth, don't ever think that you, this tiny little one little human, don't ever look at yourself like that, because the body is not who you are. You are spirit, and there is no place where you where you end and that other person begins. They all merge. Me and you merge. Everything is one whenever you see with true vision. Now, this may sound conceptual to the person who believes they're the body, because the body's eyes see everything as separate. But if you feel the intention behind what I'm saying right now, you understand that you are a very major player in the game that we're playing. And whenever you see yourself as anything less than essential to the expansion of all that is, you are not knowing who you really are. You are asleep to who you really are. And I'm here to tell you, so that way you remember that you are special here. We are all special here. We are all equal. We are all equivalent counterparts to the whole. Just because someone may have more material possessions in this world, like money or attributes or success or numbers or more eyes on them or more um, validity in terms of social status, that is all stuff of this world, which is an illusion, and that does not change who they really are at the core of their being. And that who they really are at the core of their being is who you are. And whenever you look at that individual as if you were them, you could feel that joy right now and allow all those things to flow into your life, because you know that if it could happen for that aspect of yourself, then it could happen to the aspect of yourself which you identify with in this body. Remember, there is no place where I end and you begin, meaning if somebody has something that you desire, you are them at the very core of who you really are. Now, again, while identifying with the body, you don't say I am that person, because you don't understand that the trueness of that. But when you understand that I am the light that animates this body, and I am also the light that animates that body over there, there is no separation now from this body and that body, because you know that what this person is achieving in the material world can also be done in this perspective of you, in that body that you have right now. Because again, you are the same love and light in here in this body. I am the same love and light animating this body that is over there in that body and in that attribute and in that thing. Me and you are literally one with all that is. There is no separation here, and it's going to take a few more lessons for us to kind of see that. But right now, just know that none of this stuff that we're discussing right now is conceptual, and it's only going to take as much time as we allow it to in order for us to kind of recognize that this is what's going on here. This body that you see right here with these glasses on and this beanie is just one perspective, but because I know who I am, which is all that is and one with all aspects of creation, I am not limited to this perspective, meaning I can see what anyone else is living and I can tune into their perspective and see life through that perspective, because there is no place where I end and they begin. We are all one, and the life force that is causing this body to be existing right now is the same life force that's causing that body over there to exist as well. And I am one with that. And that is powerful, because now there is so many things that me and you could do that we were unaware of before. And we will talk about that at a later point in time. But right now, let's stick with the basics, and let's just know that that little taste of power and possibility that we just got is there waiting for us to be aware of whenever we get there. But let's go ahead and continue. Today, accept God's peace and joy as yours. Let him complete himself as he defines completion. You will understand that what completes God must complete his son, which is you. He cannot give through loss. No more can you. Receive his gift of joy and peace today, now in this instant, and he will thank you for your gift to him. Today, our practice periods will start a little differently. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. And remember, me and you sometimes deny that love to other people. Think of anyone you hold grievances upon and you haven't forgiven yet. They are being denied the love that could come from you because you are putting up that block when you see them. And whenever you forgive them, you allow that love to extend towards that aspect of creation, which you are, by the way, and you forgot. And we are here today remembering. Here, you denied them to yourself. Perfectly stated. I'm going to read that one more time. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who you hold grievances upon, and they have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. Here, you denied them to yourself because you are not extending love towards that individual over there who you just condemned by saying you think that they're not enough. You are denying love to yourself because you are one with all aspects of creation, meaning although you think you're this perspective in that body and you are saying that that person over there in that body is not good enough, in the larger scheme of things, you're only seeing with your two physical eyes that show you separateness and separated bodies. But in with true vision, you would never, never, ever project any form of fear or worry or doubt on any other child of God or any other creation of God, because whenever you do that, you understand you're doing it to yourself. And if you knew what you were doing at any given moment in time, you would never put fear on anybody willingly or intentionally, or project not enoughness on somebody intentionally, or hurt someone's feelings intentionally, because you would understand that you're doing it to yourself and you haven't learned your lesson, and you're going to continue to have to come back and back and back and forth here until you finally learn your lesson, which is what God wills for you. Me and you, who knows how many times we have been here trying to learn this message. The fact that me and you are here remembering this information right now and comprehending this at the level that we do, we have made it a pretty long way, and that's powerful. Remember, here you denied them to yourself, and here you must return to claim them as your own. Beautifully stated one more time, and this is powerful, so pay close attention and I will do the same. I'm going to read this part one more time because it makes sense when you read the entirety of it. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. Here, you denied them to yourself because they are you. Although they appear separate in that body and your body, they are you. Therefore, because you didn't give love to them, you are denying it to yourself. And here, in that person that you hold a grievance against, you must return to claim them as your own. So you have to claim that love that you haven't given them, meaning the only way to claim what is yours and receive what is yours is by giving it. So you have to give that person love, and I'm not saying do it in person or to their face, but you have to remove that block in your mind and see that person for what they really are by forgiving them in your mind, and forgive them in person if you feel led to do so. But just know that if you don't forgive that person and give them the love that belongs to them because they are you, then you're not going to be able to receive that love and claim it as your own. Think of your enemies a little while and tell each one as he occurs to you, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. This is a very powerful intention. This is a very powerful tool that we can add to our mental arsenal. I'm going to read it one more time. Our brother, peace and joy we offer you, that we may have God's peace and joy as ours. Again, your brother, who you believe is your enemy, peace and joy is what you offer him, that you may have God's peace and joy as yours, meaning you can't accept that part of love that God wants to give to you if you have blocks towards love because you are only seeing that person as a body and not as you, which is love and light. This is a very powerful revelation that we are having today, and I hope you're here with me in this understanding and comprehension of what's going on here today. But we just discovered something powerful. Let's go ahead and continue. Thus, you prepare yourself to recognize God's gifts to you, and let your mind be free of all that would prevent success today. Now you are ready to accept the gift of peace and joy that God has given you. Now are you ready to experience the joy and peace you have denied yourself? Now you can say, God's peace and joy are mine, for you have given what you would receive. The only thing that you're lacking in any situation is what you are not giving, the Course states, meaning the only thing I am lacking in any situation is what I'm not giving. If I feel like I'm not receiving love from somebody, the only reason why I'm lacking it is because I'm not giving it. Therefore, I should give love. And regardless of how that person responds, because I'm giving love, I'm going to receive it. And same thing for you. If you feel like you're lacking abundance, you're not giving abundance. It doesn't mean you have to go give anything physical, but it means that what you're lacking in any situation, you are not giving it. You are giving the opposite. So because you feel like you're not receiving abundance in your life, you must be giving lack. And that must change if you want anything else to change. Because remember, you are the cause here. You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggest. For you have let all bars to peace and joy be lifted up, and what is yours can come to you at last. So tell yourself, God's peace and joy are mine, and close your eyes a while, and let his voice assure you that the words you speak are true. Spend your 5 minutes thus with him each time you can today, but do not think that less is worthless when you cannot give God more. At least remember hourly to say the words which call to him and give you what he wills to give and wills you to receive. Determine not to interfere today with what he wills. And if a brother seems to tempt you to deny God's gift to him, see it as but another chance to let yourself receive the gifts of God as yours. Then bless your brother thankfully and say, My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. And that is the end of lesson 105. This was a beautiful lesson, genuinely. Powerful stuff right there. And this is one of those lessons worth replaying over and over until we fully comprehend it. And I am just blown away right now. This one really got to me, and I hope that it just enlightened you more than you have ever been enlightened before. And I hope that you're feeling the oneness that you are. Me and you are one. There is no difference between us. Although I may look like this and you look like that, there is no difference. This body is not really here, and yours is not either, and you are not it, and you are not limited by it. You impose all the limitations on yourself. But when you understand that you are spirit and you are mind and you are everywhere at once right now, you can learn how to direct all that power. That's a large amount of power and possibility that you have, and me and you are learning to direct that and focus it in ways that are benefiting us, and not by thinking little measly irrelevant thoughts that serve no purpose. But yeah, we're gonna pause right here for today. We'll be back for lesson 106, and may we never be the same.